Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. Today in this video we are talking Cyrax. Cyrax is quickly becoming the Kameo to beat in Mortal Kombat 1. In the early days of the game's life, which is admittedly just only a couple weeks ago, everyone kind of had a laser focus on Serena. Everyone telling me, just down to their depths of the heart, rooflemonger, Serena is the best Kameo in the game, to the point where she's killing the game. Just every player is always going to use Serena forever, and, well, didn't really pan out that way now, did it? Thankfully, though, I had a bit more of a long view. I knew other people would rise to the top, and Cyrax seems to be that guy. So, what exactly makes Cyrax just such a threat? Why is he so eminently useful to everybody? So, like all Kameos, Cyrax has multiple assists. One is the classic net, which is perfectly fine, even I would say above average. It's a good projectile for the characters that do not have projectiles or have lesser projectiles, and it'll let you win any fireball war. Gladly take a trade out to hit, and they get net. Like, the net lasts forever. You can literally just walk and delay and still get a combo. And you'll be certainly getting a full combo, so do not worry, right? They'll be held in place, a little bit of scaling, but the damage will be well worth it, right? So that's great, and people don't even talk about that. It's a good, solid move, and it's not even on the radar of why Cyrax is so good. The self-destruct, legitimately, is almost not used. I've seen a couple decent Havoc setups with the self-destruct, but otherwise, it's just a gimmick, right? It's all about the Cyrax copter, which comes in two flavors. One is straight vertical, just neutral tap the Kameo button, you'll fly up. Great for combos. Lots of great combo applications, but the real main event here, this is why everyone's picking this character, is the held version of the Cyrax copter where he spins across. Now, as you can see, damage-wise, it's a tickle. Like, it's nothing. So here, I'm actually going to blow your mind on this. So on hit, there's like 3.5%, I guess, right? It's like negligible. It's literally nothing. But on block, it's 4% and change. So it literally does more damage on block than it does do on hit. So there you go. And I guess that's the magic of it, is the fact that it's very good on block and it's very good on hit. It is kind of, in a lot of ways, for the majority, not everyone, but for the majority of the cast, it is the most general purpose applicable assist there is. Are you looking for an easy combo extender? Well, either through the vertical version or the version that travels across, combo extensions are trivial. So, like for combo ability, right? Here's Astra. This is a character I don't normally associate with Cyrax, but let's try out a basic B&B off a string she normally gets nothing off of if she doesn't normally commit meter to it. And there we go, an easy 31%, no meter spent. Once again, this is a string. Normally, Astra doesn't get anything off this by itself without spending meter, right? So combo ability, Cyrax is great. And pressure, hey, don't you hate it not being your turn? Don't you want it just to be your turn forever? Well, that's effectively what Cyrax offers us, right? So let's say the Blade Flurry here for Astra, down, back 2. Obviously, negative death on block, right? But what if instead of negative on block, it was advantage on block? So on block, we'll set Johnny to down 1. And by the way, Johnny has the best and fastest down 1 in the game. And who's gonna go first? Whoa, we go first. Even Johnny's special 6-frame down 1 doesn't matter. It's still our turn. So thanks to the Cyrax assist, we can take what is normally an unsafe block string and not only make it completely safe, we have total advantage on block, and not the least of which, in sequences like this, the chip damage the opponent takes is not trivial. It's close to 10%, in fact. And the meter you gain is not trivial. For this specific sequence, which is honestly nothing special, Astra will gain about half of a bar of meter, because obviously her own multi-hitting move will gain meter every single hit. And also, the Cyrax assist gains you a tick of meter every time it's blocked. So you get 4 ticks of meters on 4 blocks. And now, I know you're wondering, yes, it is indeed a high, right? So, can I just crouch block all this? So say if I was slow, yes, you absolutely could. But in most of these kind of strings and sequences, you can make it airtight by calling Cyrax in at the right time. So even though, in this way, what the late call is a complete whiff, if I call him early on, he's still going to make every connection. He's going to do every bit of chip, gain us all that meter, and the enemy just has to accept it. This style of pressure is why Baraka Cyrax is so popular now, by the way. Because the same deal, deals tons of chip damage, gets you tons of meter, and very safe on block, advantage on block even, forget safe, it's your turn, right? And a lot more characters than Baraka can do it. Asher's an example, Havoc's another example. There's a lot of characters that can do this, and it's part of the reason why Cyrax is so good, and there's still more things. You can also use it for all sorts of pressure on the opponent's wake up. So say I knock you down with a move with a good knockdown, right? I'm just going to call Cyrax. And I'm like, well, that's all highs, so, you know, I can neutral duck it, so I'll just do that. But the problem is this. So I obviously can do whatever I want while I'm calling Cyrax. So while I'm calling him while you're waking up, maybe I'll just go for like a jumping attack. And your whole neutral duck plans, now they're out the window now, aren't they? And of course, if it hits, well, it's combo time for me now, isn't it? Now I know what you're thinking. Well, I'm just going to get past this nonsense. I'll just wake up with armor. I'm not dealing with it. Well, the thing about this move here, on top of the guaranteed pressure, is it's going to chop your armor to shreds. Because you can't armor more than one hit, right? So now, on top of, you know, helping our combos, helping our general pressure on block, we also can create all sorts of setups with this. There's basically almost nothing the Cyrax Copter can't do, not the least of which you can just call it in neutral, right? And just see what happens. You're not risking your own life. You're just risking Cyrax, right? So if he gets a hit, great. If he does randomly hit, you totally can combo after the fact anyways, right? So, you know, what's not to love, right? It's basically all upside. And in a lot of ways, is basically the most overall generally applicable assist in the game. Generally speaking, since it's so universally applicable to basically everyone, one of the things about this game is a lot of the top tiers are top tier because they don't really have any holes in their game plan. They're just really good all around, right? So they can pick a great all-rounder assist that does everything and then dominate with it. A lot of the characters where Cyrax isn't necessarily your first pick is because most of those characters are not among the better characters in the game, and they need other cameos to help plug in the flaws in their game plan. So basically, Cyrax makes the better characters already better than they are because they don't need a cameo to shore up any faults they may have. Like, I know you've already seen a lot of Baraka Cyrax. Trust me, Havoc Cyrax, in my opinion, is just as good. Straight up. And also, Raiden Cyrax, starting to become a thing, and a lot more of your favorite characters are turning to their boy Cyrax, right? And once again, the net, it's a good move. Self-destruct. A couple examples of some gimmicks I've seen with it are interesting, but it's not the main event here. But Cyrax Copter for combo, Cyrax Copter for neutral, Cyrax Copter for pressure, Cyrax Copter for everything is the name of the game. So, now that we're kind of all working our way around to the point here, does Cyrax deserve to be nerfed? Well, that I would say it is much too early in the game's life. But, with a big but, one of the things about cameos is this. So notice how both of our characters have 1,000 health. Hey, now we are here again, and notice the health values again. They're not the same anymore. Now instead of 1,000, Raiden has 950, Johnny has 1,050, right? So now they're beyond the normal starting point. And why is that? Because cameos dictate your health. So Raiden has the Motaro assist, and Motaro is considered a negative health assist. And within the confines of balance, it's a little silly. I don't know if he deserves to be a negative health assist, but whatever. It's not that video. And Johnny, Sub-Zero, he's a little plain. He's a little basic. He's really good for the characters that like him. Don't get me wrong, right? But since he's a little plain, a little basic, he gives you a little bump in health. Now, back to Cyrax. Notice again, back to 1,000, right? Because Cyrax has no health differential. He's just completely neutral. He's not a character that gives you less health. He's not a character that gives you more health. So I don't know if I want to see Cyrax nerfed or anything. His utility, you know, it's fun to do the cool things he lets you do, right? Straight up, it is. But the one thing I feel pretty safe in saying is, given his general utility to the vast majority of the cast, Cyrax could probably stand to be a negative health character. So Some characters, as we went over, like say Motaro, give you minus 50 health. I think it's fair and safe that Cyrax could be a negative 50 health character without much complaining, as his tool set is certainly above board and eminently useful to the majority of the cast, and he's basically the top tier's favorite assist. And that kind of says it all, doesn't it? If you want to get extreme, you could say negative 100 health. I don't know. But that's just an idea. Once again, this is so early in the game's life. And with the Kameo system and everything it offers, there's going to be so many more broken teams. Like, we haven't seen the tip of the iceberg. Tomorrow's top tier is just waiting in the shadows, right? And, you know, tomorrow's top tier, we talk about Cyrax, right? We got to have that conversation about Kung Lao. I tried to tell you guys at the start, nobody listened, but some people are waking up to that. But that's a video for another day, right? But for now, Cyrax is the guy, but there will definitely be more villains, more cameos that become like the guy over time, and of course, more just specific character pairings, right? That's just the way the game's gonna be. But for now, I'll leave you with that, right? So Cyrax, strong. Overwhelmingly so? Some would argue. Because once again, if you're picking a top tier character, that top tier character is probably getting associated with Cyrax now, right? So I'll leave it to you. Do you think Cyrax should be nerfed? Or should you leave him as he is? Or do you think the health value change is a good idea or a bad idea? Let me know in the comments below. And it's one of those deals where we're going to start having these conversations, right? The tier list, I'm not going to say it's final by any stretch, but it's starting to solidify a little bit. We're starting to really understand who's good, who's bad, and all that kind of stuff. And Cyrax has proven time and time again now, since the game's been out for a couple weeks now, that Cyrax is on the overwhelming side of things, because he's basically everything to almost everyone. That said, though, that's the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Mortal Kombat.